what's going on, guys and gals? Dan the Man coming at you from the 60s Rule channel. And yeah, we have another installment over here of Dioramas with Dan the Man. And yeah, I'm really having a blast doing this series, guys. You know, every week I pull something out, because I got quite a bit of dioramas. And well, let's see what showed up today. How about this? Let's put this in the center over here. Let's see if that'll fit in there and frame. Yeah, I guess that'll fit. Yeah, this was a fun build here. And a lot of you guys know I like building dioramas that have historical significance. And how could anything be more significant than the first lunar landing, I remember this back in July 20th, 1969, me and my sister were sitting in front of the TV on the floor. My parents were sitting back of us on the sofa. And I kept telling Mom, when is it going to land? When are they going to land? We were sitting there watching it for like 3 hours. And what a cool event, man. I'm telling you. And yeah, a little history behind this. So you had the three astronauts. You had Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins. And yeah, this was the Apollo 11, first lunar landing ever. And yeah, it all started back in the early 60s. President Kennedy said, we're going to put a man on the moon. And when he said that, people looked at him like, what are you talking about? And well, about, 6, 7 years later, this event happened right over here. It was just totally amazing, with the technology that they had at the time. They didn't have computers or software like we had today, but, they pulled it off. They got 3 astronauts up there. And imagine that. They traveled for 76 hours. They traveled 240,000 miles, guys. Can you imagine that? That is just totally incredible, And I remember when he first took his steps out, that was Neil Armstrong, and those famous words, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, man. Yeah, those famous words. And yeah, this module over here, I remember I bought this kit in 2019 it was. There you go. Yeah, the kit first came out in 1970. I mean, because the kids were just really, obsessed, man, with aerospace and flight and everything. And all the model companies, they were really cranking out these models, back in the 60s and 70s, very, very popular subject, subject matter. And let me show you this over here. This I found, this is really cool. They used to put this literature in the kits, but I didn't find it in this kit. I think I found this in another vintage kit that I purchased. And this is what they did back in the day. You had this, they try to get you to join their club, and it says right over here, look, yours for only 10 cents with membership. This is an original piece of literature. I like to save stuff like this. Really cool. See here, one dime brings you, and it has, all this information on here. And it says, mail this card today. See? $1. Oh, $1 shipping. How about that, huh? How cool is that? Place your dime here, right? And fold it. How cool is that? Really, really neat stuff. And actually, another interesting fact, a good friend of mine, Ernie Fillmore, I used to live in Long Island for about 15 years, and he belongs to a model car club in Long Island. His father was actually involved in building these modules, which were built out in, I think it was Calverton, the Grumman Aerospace company. They built several of these modules over here, and that's really cool. They interviewed him, and he showed me some newspaper articles too, because I mean, it's so significant, you know. And they had the 50th anniversary, 2019. Me and my friend went to the Cradle of Aviation Museum out in Garden City. Guys, if you haven't been there, go check it out. If you're ever in the Long Island area, I mean, you can spend hours there. I was there like 2, 3 times, and I still haven't seen everything in there. And they had one of these on display. It was so cool to see it there, you know. It's on loan from the Smithsonian Institute, you know. And yeah, these units, they weighed about 35,000 pounds, and they were about 23 feet high. And you'll notice over here, you see all that foil that's on that kit? Oh, yeah, that was fun to put together. Yeah, but it appears gold, but it's actually not. They say it's a foil film called Cape Ton, and it's aluminum, but the way the light reflects off, it looks gold. So you know they decided to make it gold, on the kit over here. And like I said, that was a real pain in the neck trying to fold all that film in there. I was gonna actually paint it, but I figured let me maybe make it authentic and use the foil on there, So yeah. And let's see what else I could tell you about this kit. What's really cool is you notice, see all those black shadows on there? So Monogram did a great job on that, replicating it, because, the sun would be hitting, these modules on this little angle, and you would cast these shadows on here. So you can see they even got footprints over here on this diorama base over. You can see all the equipment on there, right? And here's that's a little TV camera they set up first, right? And then I think this, I don't know what that might be the plaque. They did put a plaque, and it's still there to this day. Before they left, this plaque reads, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot on the moon, July 69 AD, we came in peace for all mankind." So, yeah, I believe that plaque is still there somewhere on the moon. Now, these modules over here, I believe this is called the Ascent module. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this is the control module up here. All right. Well, the Lunar module. And this would separate. Some of the pieces fell off. I got to glue it back on one of the thrusters, but this would separate. Let me see if I can get this off of here. It should come off. There we go. That would separate, and then they would go back and meet Michael Collins, who was orbiting the moon, and they would hook up, with the command module. And you can see there's thrusters over here to guide the this little unit over here, and then I think one of them fell off. I got to glue it back on. It's over there somewhere. But yeah. So this goes back over here like that. Just set it up over there like that, and this Ascent module would stay on here. They set this up. They designed it with these pads so it'd have a soft landing, and I think there were little like shock absorbers here. So because they had very complicated equipment over here in this unit over here, And yeah, it was a neat little diorama, I like I said, I love these dioramas that have historical significance, and yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Little history lesson for everyone, So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dioramas with Dan the Man, and yeah, all right, guys, I'm out of here, and remember, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Guys, take care, be safe, and keep on building.